This just into CBS Sports HQ. Despite a furious fight back, the #1 seed Indiana State Sycamores could not complete a comeback against the Drake Bulldogs in the Missouri Valley Championship. It is Drake repeating as the MVC champions with an 84-80 result over Indiana State. The Sycamores were down 18 points with 10:08 left in the game and managed to get back tied, even had a lead for a little bit, but Drake showing that championship medal as they end up winning it by 4. All right, let's bring in college basketball commentator Tim Doyle for more on this. Tim, you're the voice of the Heartland. You said it yourself before we came on here. You know all about this Missouri Valley Conference and what it takes to win this. Have you ever seen anything like this in the title game between teams like Drake and Indiana State?
I mean, there's been some great competitive Missouri Valley Championship games, and Missouri Valley Conference teams have made major dents in March. And that's why before this game, Jeremy, you and I were talking, and I said both these teams need to be in the tournament. And it's a shame that the Valley doesn't get 2 teams nearly every year, because it seems like every year they get in, they make some noise. So this is going to be a really interesting conversation that the committee has to have. And now that Drake has won, I believe both these teams will get in. Now, as far as this game, I am confident saying this. That was one of the best college basketball games the entire year. It had it all. It had star power. Tucker DeVries, he was fantastic in this game with 27 points. See him there burying a jump shot. Drake opened up 7 of 7 from 3. They built an 18-point lead with 10 minutes left. You thought to yourself, Jeremy, this game is over. Not so fast. Indiana State shows that championship pedigree. They go on a 27-7 run. They end up taking a 76-74 lead. It just seems like they ran out of gas. But what a great college basketball game, and I pray that we see both of these teams in the tournament.
Tim, if you're on the committee, I mean, you're looking at Indiana State, 28 wins this season, the second most in program history. The comeback here that they show in the title game, I mean, what do you look at that keeps them out of the tournament?
Now, this is not my specialty. I'm not going to lie and say that I am a bracketologist. That is why we keep Jerry Palm in the basement all year and bring him out this time of year, because this is where he is fantastic. I mean, he basically nails every single team every single year because he understands the criteria and what the committee is looking at. I just look at eyeball tests. I gamble based on eyeball tests. I watch the games. If Indiana State plays Drake 10 times, I still believe they beat him 6 or more. But today, Drake was better. No doubt about it. And Drake showed down the stretch. Right when Indiana State took that lead, you were like, well, this game's over. And it wasn't. Enright made some big shots. Brody was fantastic on both ends of the floor. You know, Avila was not at 100%. They said that he was, under the weather. Didn't show too much in the semifinals, but he certainly did not look like himself. And I credit Drake's defense. This was a fantastic basketball game. It's unfortunate someone had to lose. I just hope next week we are sitting here right about this time with both these teams in the tournament.
Indiana State sitting 24 in the net ranking. So, you just think that there's going to be serious consideration given to them being in. So, Tim, when you look at this game as a whole, I mean, what was the biggest difference for you?
Yeah, I thought it was the three-point line. I mean, that's going to be the story of the tournament, by the way, okay, is going to be the three-point line, because you live by the 3, you die by the 3, but every team has the same philosophy. So Drake in this game was outstanding. They opened up 7 of 7 from 3. Then they made their first 2 threes in the second half. They were 11 of 18 from 3. And on the flip side, Indiana State wasn't terrible, but they were 8 of 25 if you count that last make, which I counted as a 3, but looks like it just counted as a 2. So maybe they only made 7 threes as I was charting the game here. But it was a fantastic game. I thought the difference was DeVries, made really tough shots. He's an amazing offensive player. Drake's been to 4 straight championship games. Indiana State, maybe that lack of experience showed in the first half as they dug themselves a hole. But that Indiana State net, I'm a gambling man. I think at the end of the day, they deserve to get in. Obviously, Avila is must-see TV, and he has captured, really the social media world by storm. So I would love to see both these teams. I thought the difference was the three-point shot. And I think that we're going to look at a lot of games this March. If a team gets hot, any team, and I mean any team, can beat any team on any given night.
Yeah, you look at the field goals. It was 11 for 18 for Drake, 7 for 24 for Indiana State. So to your point, Tim, certainly a difference there. All right, so let's say that Indiana State doesn't manage to make it into the field for the NCAA tournament. That would put them in the NIT. I mean, how do you like that particular tournament in terms of how they stack up there?
Why are you putting this in the universe? Don't, Jeremy, don't do this, okay? You know I'm an NIT champion, okay, at St. John's. The championship is now vacated, but they can never take my ring away. I don't want to see this. And no disrespect to the NIT, but this is an NCAA team. This is a team that nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see on Selection Sunday, that being Indiana State. They did not play their best today. Drake was fantastic. Drake was better today. You know, North Carolina and Duke, we watched that game yesterday. That particular game, North Carolina was better. Not sure I could say that if they played all 10 times. North Carolina, no way they would win all 10 times. I feel the exact same way about this matchup. These two teams split in the regular season. And I believe, I know the tournament doesn't look at this, and this is why I'm not Jerry Palm. But I believe you look at past history of the Valley tournament, and conference rather, and when they get into the tournament, oh my goodness, it's like every year they win a game. And more often than not, they're advancing to the Sweet 16. They just don't have that, you know, curbside appeal that a lot of other teams have. By the way, no one wants to play them, right? Who's going to Terre Haute to play Indiana State? So the fact that they, you know, have a net that's that high, I think they're a lock. After you told me that, I think at the end of the day, we are going to see them. But both these teams deserve it. So this is not a numbers thing. Eyeball test. Both these teams are really good. They have next level players. They make next level plays. They're fun to watch. They can play fast. The fact that Indiana State made a run and took a lead in this game when Drake played next to perfect showed me that this team is going to be very, very dangerous in the tournament.
Well, here's hoping that the committee takes a look at that and we get two MVC teams playing in the tournament. Our Tim Doyle joining us to discuss Drake's win over Indiana State, the 2 seed, beating the 1 seed in the Missouri Valley Conference as Drake repeat as champions. But as Tim said, hey, we don't want to put it out there that Indiana State does not get to go. But you'd have to think they're going to be given serious consideration with a net ranking of 24. As you see the automatic bids for the NCAA tournament, you see it's starting to fill out. Drake the latest to get added as they win the Missouri Valley Conference 84-80. All right, well, we're not done with this game because when we come back, we've got a trophy to hand out as Drake repeat as Missouri Valley Conference champions and punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. More coming up on HQ after this.